Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back, y'all. My name is Danielle, and this is my spiritual journey. And excuse my hair because I took it down and I didn't. It's not even detangled, y'all. It's just hanging. Okay, so today I would like to talk to you about, again, in your spiritual journey, there's some important steps that we may overlook when we just get in and start practicing things. I have what is called, it's like a book of me, right? It's a book of me, but they also go by like a grimoire, a book of shadows, like all the different things, book of spells. So I am going to explain to you a little bit about what that means to me. And then I will give you a peek into one of mine. So all of my books are on digital format, right? They're digital. I like to write, but they're digital. And what happens is I start off in this one, and then I may go through, and maybe if a different year comes, then I'll just title a year, and the year may be, let's say, 2024 or something, 2025, whatever the case is. And it may just be a tab that's called, or a tab that's called spiritual. And then everything will be documented in there. But let's get to what is this book about. So, as you are growing on your spiritual journey, there are going to be things that you want to remember, but it may be too much to store in your brain. And so, for me, just some of my examples, like I have where I'm doing, and I'm talking about herbs, the different uses for herbs, and let's see, astrology, like I'll talk and do a breakdown of astrology, what it means to me, what I'm feeling, what I'm really drawn to. If you do shadow work, you can definitely put your shadow work in there. The reason I say put shadow work in there is because you'll see how you have grown on this spiritual journey. And maybe there are certain tools that you use to get in, dig deep with your shadow work and to kind of like be easy with it, right? Instead of you being like, oh my goodness, how am I going to tackle this? Or you may have some tried and true rituals that you would want to put in there. Um, Maybe there's some ideas. I do have a tab somewhere, and it is like kind of like, okay, this is an idea I want to try down the line. And so I'll jot it in there as well. And then I have a tab. I always like to have a tab or do some kind of documentation of things that worked for me, right? So this could be, let's say that I'm doing something completely different, and did it work for me? Did it not work for me? There are people, which I haven't done this. Wait, no, I've done it once. But I haven't done it by myself. But there are people who will do where they burn and release. I feel some kind of way about fire. I feel a very strong way about fire. Almost where it's just like when it comes to not fire over a stove, or fire on a candle. Fire on a candle is still kind of, but there is something. And people are always just like, if you're really afraid of water, like really afraid of water, then it's like, man, did I die in a past life of water? Did I drown? Did I do something? And so mine would be definitely like fire. Yeah. Anyway, I haven't done that by myself. Someone has always been around when I've done the fire. You write on the bay leaf or something, you write on something to release it, something that you're wanting to release, and then put it in the fire to let it go. Um, Anyway, just the different things that you may do, how you feel around them. If you are into maybe scrying, looking at water and interpreting and getting things from water, or if it sounds interesting to you, or if you have a book, a list of tools that you want to use, and it's everything related to your spiritual growth, your spiritual journey. If you want to do, we had a couple of videos ago, we did our fun experiments. You could even put in your fun experiments around manifesting, right? And put those things in there. Maybe you did something with yours. Maybe you did where you did a ritual around calling in something simple, small, easy, fun. Maybe you did something around that and that worked. And so now maybe you want to step it up and do something that maybe what you may call a little bit more complex, a little bit bigger. And so those are ways that you get to see about you, how things work for you. You can always listen to people like me, other people who are out there in the spiritual community, draw things, put it in your book to see how it works for you. Is this something that I want to do, want to go forward with, and all the things? Like that's what it is. Okay, so now I want to actually go into my actual book. So I am going to share my screen. Hopefully you guys can see this, and I'll give it a moment. You should be able to see it now. So this is mine. This one is actually titled Grimoire. And again, all of mine are not titled Grimoire. They all are on some type of digital platform so that if I want to copy and paste, like if let's say that I learned something, you see this right here is dated 2021. Let's say that I got something and it was from 2018 or something like that, and it's still on digital format. Maybe I'll copy and paste it and bring it to this because now I'm working on Grimoire. I'm not working in Grimoire actively. I'm in a completely different, a completely different notebook, but all of my notebooks that I'm working through with are again a digital platform, and it is something that I can get access to on all formats. So like I can get it on my Apple phone, I can get it on my Samsung phone, I can get it on my iPad, I can get it on my laptop, which is neither Android nor, it's Windows based. And so all the different things, I want to be able to access it no matter what. And so this is just a little sample. I don't mind if y'all read it, which is why I'm showing it to you. But this is just a sample. And I highlighted way once upon a time down here. I will read it because it is kind of smaller font. It says magic happens when you have motion, which can be actions, gestures, and dance, sound, which would be your charged voice, and emotion, which can be like a scalding wheel, like I need this or I don't want this or something like that. And you notice my voice actually matched that emotion. But then I put a note for myself, and it says the sound of my voice. And then in parentheses, with passion, emotion, and will, in parentheses, accomplishes all three requirements. So anything else, meaning like the candle, workings, etc., is just going to add a boost to whatever it is that I'm doing. And so that right there is something that I know I mentioned in a previous video, but I guess this right here, I completely forgot about this right here. But in a previous video, I was talking about altars, but I didn't go into altars. Some people have really elaborate altars. Some people will tell you that you need a candle, you need water, you need all these things. They don't know you. Right. So this book, whether you call it your grimoire, your spiritual, whatever, your spiritual journey, whatever you call it, these things will have these little reminders in here. Let's see. I have always do what feels right or good. Be mindful. Give every action an intention. Y'all have heard me say, when I drink water, I'll charge my water. When I wear something, I'll do that. When my hair is done, I am putting an intention into my actual hair. A couple of days ago, I don't even know when it was, y'all. Nope, it wasn't a couple of days ago. Y'all, it was yesterday. Y'all, today, the day after, today is the 26th, man. I have been moving like a sloth, but it was actually yesterday. I did some cinnamon rolls. When I do things that are sweet, especially with cinnamon, sugar, things like that, like cinnamon sugar combination, then I usually will charge it with abundance. And so I let people know before they consume it, hey, I have charged this with abundance. And I'll leave it as a plain abundance because I want those people to know you can then take charge of it for yourself. It can be financial abundance. It can be an abundance of gaining more business, gaining more customers, gaining more clients, gaining more opportunities, like all the things, I leave it open. But I did charge the cinnamon rolls with abundance. And I also did that with the pound cake that I had made the week before. So let's see, give every action and intention. It's not a race, but move with purpose. And that is, there are some times where, you may see someone who you admire, and it's like, let me hurry up and get to their level. It's not a race, okay? But move with purpose. I have a purpose. My purpose is to grow my abilities. My purpose is this, my purpose is to grow my business. Whatever the case is, it's not a race, but move with purpose. And remember that every action should have an intention. If you do something, then know what each element means. Okay, this is like, again, like if I'm doing um, where I am baking something, or even if I'm cooking something, everything, every ingredient that I'm putting in there, I like to know what it's about. And yes, every now and then I will sprinkle in something that doesn't really have an overpowering taste because I'm not putting in that much. But it is going to either be for something that I want to call in, or it can also be for a medicinal purpose. And a lot of times, guys, it's actually a dual thing, but I'm putting in those things. Like, again, if you do something, then know what each element means. And again, that's also why I'm very mindful with the words that I speak. It is always a work in progress for me, but always being mindful of what I speak and how I speak and which tense I'm speaking in and all those things. Let's see. Keep a tab for things you want to learn more about in time. And I did go over that with y'all already to, if you want to know more about this, then, jot it down. You don't have to do it right now, but, when you have your moments, I have my moments when it's time for me to learn. I have my moments when it's time for me to implement. I have my moments when it's time for me to just be easy. I also have time when it's time for me to read a book. And so that's the thing, keeping a tab for things like that. Always ask for help and give thanks in return and in advance. And so when I put this here, I am not speaking about physical beings, right? I am talking about spiritual beings. So always ask for help and give thanks in return and in advance. And so for me, if I'm talking to my people, my daddy, my great grandma, any of my, either one of both my maternal or paternal grandfather, anyone like that, I could call them in and I give thanks in a special way. I don't just say thank you, like I'll say thank you, but I'll also fill into something that they may have a weakness in, or something like that, and I'll give that to them. And so that's my thing. Did I read everything on here for you guys? Yes, I did. Okay, so now let's go over to, I did copy some things over. Oh, wait, let me move myself over. Doop, doop, doop. Okay, so I have you create your own way, which was this tab right here. I'm not gonna click on all of these because y'all, I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, and I don't want to like show all my stuff. And again, this is an older notebook. This is not my current notebook, but you see, I have one where I'm talking about colors. I'm talking about days of the week, moon phases, parchment paper. I can tell you parchment paper is just breaking down the significance of parchment paper and how to work with parchment paper, sigils, and just all the different things. Sigils is something different for me than it may be for other people. I know a lot of witches use sigils and things like that, but I think of my practice as something a little more different. I do create and use things in my own special way. So someone may say sigil and be like, oh, she's doing a ritual, she's doing a spell, she's doing this, she's doing that. And you can do different things with it. But across the top, we see that I have a tab for rituals. I have one for money magic. I know in the money magic one, I did like a money jar. I think I put in the different things that I put in the money jar. I have astrology, which is going to be talking about the houses, the 12 houses, the zodiac signs. I have a little bit of numerology in there as well because, I also work with numbers. Let's see, the houses. This particular one does not have my chart, I don't think, but I always like to have my chart available so that I can pull up my chart and see what's going on with my chart. Because anytime I go into an astrology tab, I'm going to learn something new. And I'm like, what does it say about my chat, my whatchamacallit? Um, excuse me, my specific chart. Workings, I told you about workings. If you, like I said, example, if you were doing something with the fun experiment video that I did and you're manifesting smaller things, put your workings in there. It's going to do a few things. Again, it shows you your preferred method or your preferred methods in workings. It may show you some of your preferred tools. If you find yourself gravitating to these same things over and over, you're going to know that you really dig those things. But then from workings, you see over here, I'm going to scoot over just a little bit. I have one that says proven, and proven is just going to be like, how did the things that I do, how did they work out? Especially if I'm scaling up in my abilities and I want to try something different. So that is that tab. Let's see. Basic first steps. This is where we are. This is some of those things. Herbs, that's self-explanatory. My herbs are not just herbs for doing a ritual. They are for doing a ritual. They are for smelling. They are for healing. They are for aesthetics. They are for just about everything that you can think of. Medicinal, like I said, all the things, y'all. What I want. And again, that is what I want. I don't even want to click on that. But what I want could be, again, maybe it's the spiritual gifts, but you know what? I don't know, and I'm not going to click on it. Let's pretend that behind door number what I want is going to say something like, it could have once upon a time said Singing Bowl 2021. Maybe it didn't because I should already had some singing bowls. Um, What could it be that's behind that door? You know what? I don't know. And I'm not going to click on it. Um, Hoodoo, I'm not going to click on that either. But I will tell you that it has some workings and some things. And, some of my tabs do overlap. A little bit, but it's fine. Because it is a digital format, let me go ahead and stop sharing. But because it is a digital format, I am fine to, um, wait a minute, y'all. I'm trying to multitask. This thing, why is it so small? Loony, 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 loony. Loony, 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 loony. There it is. Why did they put it so small? Why they put it so small, y'all? Okay, every time I do some stuff or restart some stuff, Zoom be like, we have updated some stuff. Anyway, so that was my a peek into one of my again, back then it was a grimoire, and probably before then it may have been a book of shadows. Um, now, for the last, what, 3 years at least? Yeah, 3 years. You know what? It's probably at least 3 years because even when I did that grimoire one, I did a spiritual notebook and it was just in the spiritual notebook. And so that's why you didn't see it, but I'll copy and paste things just in case, I revert and I go back to like the grimoire notebook because I am looking in it, then I'll just paste some things from 2024. I'm going to do that forever, which is why I like mine on digital format. When you write, writing is really powerful. So there are some tabs where I do have um, my iPad and I'm using my Apple Pencil and I'm writing that way. I'm going to give you an example to use tarot. When I do tarot readings for myself, when I do tarot readings, I will write down the question. I will write down the cards that I pulled, and then I will read the tarot cards. And then after I read the tarot cards and get my message, I'll kind of jot that down, but then I'll go through and I'll write down each card one by one and answer it as though I didn't do the verbal reading for myself. And then it will, again, it takes me to a whole nother level. It layers my reading. It is crazy. Like, let's say that, I have a reading that I do for myself and I feel like I've gotten a really good answer. When I write it out, same reading, same cards, but when I write it out, it takes it even deeper and it may even pull out blocks that I have, or it may pull out full um a full like entourage, like not entourage, but like a whole thing of like motivation, confidence, and girl, you've already been doing this. Like, do you not see this? And so I'm just writing and I'm hyped, right? I'm just hyped. And I'm like, why have I been sitting on this for so long? So again, y'all name it what you want. It can be a book of you because it is you, it's your spiritual side. But our spiritual side tends to overlap with our physical side. So you call it what you want, but I strongly suggest that you get one, you maintain it, and have it in a format that works for you. I love to write with a pen and paper, but to keep up with things and as often as I have moved, y'all know of as of now, what is this, 2024? We're about to knock on 2025. I've moved over 20 times easily without me having to count, right? If I do count, it's probably more, but I'm going to say I've moved easily over 20 times. And just imagine for me to try to keep up with some notebooks, going from even from here to Mexico, and then when I was in Mexico, I went to the Bahamas, all those things. I'm not trying to take stuff with me all over the place. So digital it is for me. That is the convenient way for me. Maybe once I am more stable, I can get pen and paper. But not right now, not right now. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, y'all put it in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching, and y'all have a great rest of your day. And I will chat with y'all later. Bye, y'all.